Now, like I said, this is season 4, so I'm a big fan of season 1 and 2. I just watched season 3, and it's cool. It's not great, but I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the original movie, and I'm a big fan of like I said, season 1 and 2, and they all got these similar. They all got these similar aesthetics where it's in Minnesota. It's in Fargo, Minnesota, and it's always cold. It's always cold there, but it's always like the dead of winter. There's always snow on the ground. The way they kind of play this, and it's always got a crime element. It's usually criminals that are so stupid that they shouldn't be criminals. That's the movie. The movie was about criminals that stupid people that want to be criminals that wasn't good at it. You know what I'm saying? And it's always a criminal element, and it's always a law enforcement element. That's always kind of like the main things in Fargo. And they did real good on keeping that consistent with every episode, with every season. And in this season here, this kind of picks up where now they always in different times, and they always tell you it's a true story, but that'd be BS. Like they just none of this stuff. I don't know. Some of it could be true. Like the first Fargo movie, that's what they said, based on a true story. But when you come to find out, it's not. They just took a story, and they got the idea to make that movie. Where when I read the true story, it was totally different from the movie. Mm-hmm. But they just took some elements from a story that like a real life murder that happened, and made that movie. Right. But anyway, so this is supposed to take place in 1950, and it's not in Fargo, Minnesota. It's in Kansas City, Missouri. Now, one of the things is, if you see season 2, Kansas City kind of play a big role in this. And you like, yeah, what's that got to do with Fargo, Minnesota? Nothing. But in season 2, Kansas City, it was some people. I guess you call them gangsters. Gangsters from Kansas City was trying to take land in Fargo, Minnesota. And I cannot remember why they wanted but basically the people that own all the businesses and whatever in Fargo, they was muscling in on them, and they was going to do a takeover. For some reason, they wanted it, and so it was a big deal about these guys from Kansas City. They just gonna take our stuff. We earn this. We about to go to war. So that had played out into a big old shootout, big finale, whatever. And this is kind of a backstory of how the gangsters came to be in Kansas City. So it's connected still, you know what I'm saying? And they got and then they had like an Italian guy and a black guy was the main guys from Kansas City. And this is how this story play, where they got the black gangsters and the Italian gangsters got an alliance to run. I guess they run everything in Kansas City or whatever. Yep. Now, let's talk about this alliance real quick. Now I like how they do this story, where they got the alliance is they take the youngest son of each family and they trade them. This is how they keep the peace. Yeah. Which never works. That's crazy too, man. I never heard of that. And the last time I heard of that was on Game of Thrones. They took what's name of youngest son. They took Theon Greyjoy.
I mean, like it's definitely a thing that happened at one point in history. Was like, look, I need to know that you won't come and slit my throat in my sleep.
Right.
So just so we good, I'm gonna keep your boy with me.
Right.
So if anything happened to me, guess who getting in there?
Right. So that's the tradition. Your youngest son will go over to. I'm sorry. Yeah, y'all trade youngest sons, and each of them will stay with you, and like his youngest son stay with me, my youngest son stay with him, which I'm like, that's the dumbest thing ever. And it's like, this is how they decided to keep the peace. You about to say what now?
Well, like, especially because like the sheer lack of trust between both parties would make you say, there's no way anyone can be trusted to keep this deal.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Right. And to make it so bad, they kind of show that this happened since they decided to run the underworld, and every time the kid betrays, every time they use that to portray the other gang or whatever. So this is like the fourth time they tried this, and it's like, I don't know why they keep doing it, because it don't work, But they got all these little traditions with it too that's funny. I think it's kind of cool where they kind of like, I don't know exactly what they was doing, but they was like doing like stumping their feet or something.
Yeah.
Did you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like I think I used to know something about that, like, but I don't recall where that all comes from. But like I do like as things go on. So it's like you got the Jews and the Irish.
Was it Jews, Irish first? Okay.
Yeah. And so like they doing it on both sides.
So one side turn on the other side, then you got the Irish and the Italians. One side turn on the other side. So now then you got the Italians and the black.
Yeah.
Now we haven't had a betrayal yet, but this is a very uneasy alliance. So let's talk about a lot of characters now. This is the thing about this show. It's a lot of characters.
Yeah.
A lot of very rememberable characters in this show. And I like all the characters. And I was surprised I did like Chris Rock. You know why? And it's kind of, I don't know if I don't want to take it for insult, but it's because he's got less screen time than I thought he was. And I'm happy about that.
Well, like, I'll also say I was not expecting his ability to be serious to be as convincing as it is.
Yeah. It helps me by him not being it's not all about him. Well, he's the boss of the black gang, but it's not all about him.
But also the way they construct his scenes, by and large, is him like being thoughtful and laid back, letting stuff happen, saying how he feels about it, and then leaving. Yeah, he doesn't do speeches. Like the one speech I think he's had in these first few episodes was him like doing his bit and being a fast talker just without trying to be funny while he does it. Mm-hmm. And that's something he can definitely do without having to be funny. Right. So that, again, plays to his strength. But, like, they don't sit you there like, hey, be scared of this guy. He's a serious customer.
Now, I'm going to tell you who's a much better dramatic actor than him, which I'm not using as a slight on him, but when Dr. Senator. What's his real name? I forget his real name.
I can never remember his name.
But you've seen him in a ton of stuff, but one of my favorite movies, he did an old gangster movie called JD's Revenge.
Yes.
You seen JD's Revenge?
Yes. Oh, my God.
That's my movie. But anyway, he's basically the older mentor-like character to the young boss. And he's incredible as every time he's on screen, he commands you know what I'm saying? And he's helping. I think he helps. He's helping Chris Rock be more of a dramatic actor by just being there, in the scenes with him.
Even the way they construct their scenes and the way the hierarchy in their syndicate works, he's sort of the console to Chris Rock's Caesar. It's like when stuff needs to be said and needs to get done, he's the guy's like, look, this is what you're looking at right now.
Right.
I know this is what you want to do. Don't worry about what you want to do. This is how we survive this and we come out on top.
Right. So it's a lot of good characters, and it's got and so we talk about the mobs or whatever, but then we got this one wild card character, and this is the connection to Minnesota for some reason. I don't know why, but it's this lady, and she's in there, but she don't really have no connection to the story except she's
there.
Right. And sometimes I feel like, is she supposed to be like a supernatural presence almost?
She kind of feels that way. I'm not gonna lie.
It's I can't remember her real name, but her name was like, what's her name? Like Olietta or something. She got like
Olietta.
Yeah. So her name was like Olietta, and she just like. She's got the Minnesota. Like she got that accent.
Don't you worry there. Olietta's gotcha.
Yeah, she got that Minnesota accent. So that gives us that Fargo feel just by having her in there. But she's that wild card because she's going to play into the plot in some way, but I'm not sure. But she always somehow mixed up in what's going on.
She's also such a like dreadfully conspicuous character.
Man, she's that's why I said I don't know if she's a supernatural presence, because she seemed like she pops up and do some devious stuff, and I'm like, this evil crazy lady, she probably one of them people that do all this dirt and never get caught and walks away from stuff, and you like, okay, what's going on with her?
And like that was the thing I was gonna ask you, but has been answered. Like, is she a character from one of the earlier seasons? Because this is my first season of Fargo.
Now she could be related to another character. Now I'm not sure. Now she could be related, and they might pull that out later. I'm not sure, but I don't offhand remember where she. I don't think she is. And the thing about Fargo, I think the running theme was it's a lady in position of power that seems like she's she seems like she just this nice you betcha like lady, and she ended up being a very competent character. They all they start from that's a running theme from the first one where the chief of police is a lady, and she just seemed like a nice. She's pregnant while she's solving this murder case, and she just seemed like this nice lady. And when she talked to everybody, it's like, oh well, heck, hi, how you doing? And you know all that the Fargo, the Minnesota talking. Yeah. And she's actually very very competent as a police detective, and she solved the crime and catch the person at the end or whatever. So that's like kind of a running thing on all the Fargos. They got a competent lady in authority. So somehow that's probably why I'm thinking that's why she's in there. But it seems like she's just that wild card. She don't really mean too much.
Because like maybe it's just because we were only a few episodes in, but like I'm trying very hard to figure out what her motivation is. Uh-huh. And so far as I can tell, her motivation is she decided to do a thing.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's why I was almost like a supernatural presence, because like the guy, the head of the Italian thing kind of like met her, and then he kind of, I don't know how he didn't remember her, but he's like, who are you? And she's like, oh, come on, don't stop playing, whatever. Yeah. The way he was looking at her when she left, he like, who are you? Like, are you like the devil or something? You know what I'm saying? That's why I kind of like, is she like a supernatural presence? Because she do crazy stuff and leave.
And like never has like a decent explanation for her doing crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Just, oh well, I'll take care of that.
Yeah.
Don't you worry now. Yeah. I'll take care of that.
Right.
It's like, and then like she's gone, and then she'll show up later on. It's like, what the?
Right. So okay, so that's the criminal. Let's talk about the law enforcement side. So because there's always a criminal side and a law enforcement side.
Yeah.
And so they got two characters that's mainly. You need to kind of pay attention to that probably want to follow. So the first one they introduced was a character that's got a severe case of OCD. And I was like, I like this character. And I'm thinking at that time, this is supposed to be in 1950, you wouldn't know what that condition is. People would probably just automatically think he's crazy off the wall. But he definitely got OCD. Now I heard they said somebody that's seen more episodes that it's a reason. It's like he probably suffered like a tragedy or something. Yeah. That the reason for his OCD. But when he first kind of showed some stuff with his condition, I laughed so hard because I'm like, what is going on? Because like he's fidgety. He's real fidgety already, and then he keeps singing like he's singing to he's saying a nursery rhyme to himself. That's like
is that what it is? I thought he was just counting.
Well, he was doing the 1, little 2, little 3, little Indians. Like he keeps saying that. Like he keeps saying that, and then he's fidgeting a lot. But I bet you, I got the feeling he's kind of like I don't know if you watch the show Monk, where he has issues, but he's actually real smart and real competent.
Well, it's like when you balance that kind of a shortcoming or limitation with a very notable level of competence, that can make a character extremely interesting.
That right, like, and that shortcoming could be. A reason why they are so smart. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And well, he got this one OCD moment where I don't know if he need to do something. I don't know if he need to do something 3 times or something. But it was when he was leaving the door. He was leaving the room and he kept knocking on the door. He did it 3 times. I think that's kind of his thing. Yeah. And the guy was like, "No, you don't need to knock. What are you doing?"
Because like I think like when he was first leaving the hospital, it was a series of 3 knocks.
Yeah.
3 series of 3 knocks. And then when he was coming into his boss's office, it was 3 short knocks.
Okay, so it's just a thing of 3. But
Yeah.
I don't understand why he needs to do it when he left the room.
Well, I noticed he only does it when the door isn't when the door is closed. Like when he has to open a door, he does. If the doors are like swung open, he won't do it.
Yeah.
But like it has to be something like there's a scene where he's entering a room and
Right.
and he flicks the light switch.
Yeah, he did it. Did he do it 3 times? I think he did.
I think he did.
Right.
Well, no, I think he might have done it like 6 or 9 times, but it was still like
it was a sequence though.
it was a sequence. Yeah.
Right, and that's his whole thing. He got OCD, and that was like that makes that character so interesting. And he's competent. He's not just a crazy guy that that's just a crazy whatever. No, he's actually a competent guy. It was surprising me that they will have somebody in a position of power that has a condition like that.
Well, that was the thing that got me was like it's clearly not something hidden at all.
Yeah.
So it's not like every night game we see a glimpse of it. It's like no, it's right there.
I mean, but I could tell that when he doing his job, it's like okay, it seems that okay he know what he's doing, but his condition would make it look like he's not competent.
Entirely there, yeah.
Right. But okay, let's talk about the other cop because we got a U.S. Marshal. He is chasing down these escaped convicts.
Yeah.
And we'll get to a little bit about that later. But
he is a traditional old school Mormon.
Yeah. And of course, they always got to do. This is the 50s, so they always got to let you know that how they feel about different races or whatever. And it was funny that they was real racist against Italians. I didn't know that it was that bad. I mean, I don't know if it's accurate.
Well, there was a time where Italians weren't considered white, and neither were Irish Catholics.
Yeah, right. And it's like, wow, that's and they spoke on that a lot, and that's kind of why they Italians decided to ally themselves with blacks. I was surprised because I was like, well, to my knowledge, don't nobody like blacks. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
because there was an old essay I read from back in the day. This was like maybe around 57 or 58. This came out where someone was decrying the race relations. Like, it's a trip how folks look down on us for being black. Like they think they still think they're white.
right.
And it was like the rest of the country doesn't think you're white. It thinks you're colored like me.
Right. But see, I think it goes to the fact that it's like, long as I'm not last, I'm
exactly.
I'm
That's
okay.
exactly what
I'll
it
talk
is.
about them because that keeps them from talking about me. So that makes me a higher by keeping you down at the lowest.
And
you know
then
what I'm saying?
also for like, especially for like the second generation guys, like the Irish guy, and
Yeah.
this is like, so you Irish? I'm American.
Yeah.
And so it's like they're all trying to rise above their origin.
Yeah.
To try to achieve this ideal monolith, non-ethnicity.
Mm-hmm. So they got this, like we said, they got a alliance, but I was talking about the cop. So let's finish talking about the cop.
Right.
And he got this thing. He always eat carrots, like
he keeps them folded up in his
Yeah.
jacket pocket. Yeah.
But see, even though he's kind of racist and he's like really into religion, I like characters like that because they just seem so together that, you know what I'm saying? It just seems like he's very, very competent.
I mean, he strikes me as like almost pathologically competent. Like,
yeah.
I'm waiting to find out just how off the rails he is.
Right.
Because everything about him is just so and so put together. And then like he said they call him deafy because he has selective hearing.
That's funny. Where he was like, they call you, are you deaf? He's like, I can see how you would think that, but no, I only listen to what I. And that's a classic example of somebody that thinks he's the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
Basically, you know what I'm saying?
Like there's a moment there where he's sitting in a car and someone's like, what kind of idiot are you? Come again? What was that?
Which I guess is his thing where he just chooses not to listen to when it's something he don't want to hear.
Right.
You know? Okay. So anyway, we got our law enforcement element, and I like both of them, and I want to see, where they're gonna go with them, or as far as them dealing with this element. Now, both cops both have different, I guess, agendas, but I think they're going to end up coming into the same. Because when I say that, because the U.S. Marshals only trying to catch some escaped convicts,
Right.
and the cop with the OCD, I guess I'm going to get names. I have names in the next review. The cop with the OCD is basically trying to get under control the gang war, or whatever. But they're going to end up, they are working together. But I'm saying like their agenda's going to end up working together, or whatever. And the guy is chasing these escaped convicts, and there's two women escaped out of jail, and I was like, okay, what are they doing here? Are they killing people, or are they just knocking people out? Now they never exactly, because the reason why I said that, because they have scenes where they see something like, oh, I like your shirt, and they should know they wearing it. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they didn't explicitly show one way or another what happened to those people.
Right.
Maybe they're just knocked out in the bathroom naked.
We
hoping. Don't know.
I hope. That's what I was saying. I hope they ain't going. And what's the girl told the other girl? We can't do nothing to get us back caught. We got to be, stay
and
low
then
key.
Immediately.
And killing a couple people, you know what I'm saying, is not going to be, I was like, it's like, how the hell? Right. How's that being low key? So I don't know. They didn't really say, but I'm guessing they didn't, because once they went and was looking what they was, when they were searching for them, they didn't say, oh, we got some dead bodies here or nothing.
Right.
So I guess they just knocked them out, took their clothes or whatever. That's cool. But they kind of played to this another storyline they got. There's a lot of storylines.
Yeah.
Where this 16-year-old girl, they kind of started with her. Now I know they trying to make it seem like she's biracial, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, she doesn't look biracial at all. Look, don't get me wrong. So like when you mix genes, one usually does come out on top.
Yeah.
But bruh, that girl don't look like she got
right.
any...
And now we don't know exactly the whole story, where he could just be taking care of her as his daughter, and that's not his actual daughter. I'm leaning towards that.
Yeah.
Where the dude's like, yeah, this is my daughter. This is my, biological daughter. And old girl like, your mother must be dark as hell. Cause, and that's, what's her name? Oletta or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
She just say whatever come to her mind,
like, She has no filter.
And it's racist, but that's the first thing I would have thought. And I hate the fact that I would think that, but I would be like, yeah, your mom must be dark as hell.
Even when she does try to clean it up, like, you can tell she's like, okay, I see what this is.
Yeah, but she the kind of person that she offend people and don't mean it. But she's ignorant that she offending people, but she just say what's on her mind.
But like, it's not.
I'm not saying it's cool.
No, it's not even that. She's the kind of person that will offend you, realize you've been offended, and then apologize to you for you being soft enough to be offended.
Yeah, but I know people actually do
that. I am so sorry that hurt your feelings. I was right though, so you should really recognize that. But I'm sorry that the truth hurts your feelings.
Yeah,
you have a blessed day, okay?
Yeah, okay then. But no, it's a lot of crazy characters like that, man, and that's what makes the show interesting. Where I'm like, okay, because they have, like I said, it's about criminals that's not smart enough to be criminals, and they end up being dumb, or they end up putting themselves in a dumb situation where somebody usually end up dead, and that's kind of the running theme on the show.
Like, even beyond like just simple questions of competence, like they can't seem to see beyond themselves to go after what it is that they want. So like we see people like, look, the smart thing to do right now is to lay low and wait for this to blow over. First thing they do is go right back to what they was doing that they shouldn't have been doing in the first place.
Right.
And
right. And that's kind of like what's going on. And for real, it's like the first 3 episodes are kind of like setting up the families' problems with each other. Now I didn't mention some of the characters in the families, and because the reason why I said it, because I need to talk about the Italian family got a brother, and his dude is so overdoing it, especially his eyes get real big, and I was like, okay, I like this guy because he kind of like Jack Black a little bit, but he's bigger than him.
Cartoon, man,
and he just like, well, this is what you need to do, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
In a way, I kind of say, you know what, they might pay that off, and I think, and this is a theory, but I think maybe he just might be full of shit and he just acting, and maybe it's gonna come to light later that you ain't no big bad dude. You just been putting on the show that whole time.
I would actually really love that.
Yeah.
I think that could play off really well. You know, because he goes so over the top. You know, back in the war.
Yeah.
What we used to do. Like, come on, man.
That's exactly the way he talk. And, you know, he's like, I don't know if it was supposed to be, he's like, that my enemy, I got his teeth right here.
I keep him in my pocket.
Yeah.
Could be yours next.
Right.
Come on, man.
And his brother's like, just don't give a shit. Every time he try to act tough, that's why I was like, maybe it's just an act and his brother know it.
Yeah.
Because the little guy is not intimidated by him at all.
and he's squirrely enough that he should be.
Right, but he don't give a shit. Maybe he just, you know, one of the guys who think he tougher than he is, but he didn't. I don't see it. I mean, I'm kind of cool with the boss, boss now.
Yeah, everyone else is like terrified of the younger brother.
Yeah.
And he talks to him like he's a dog. Hey, down now.
Yeah. And but it's one thing they put in there that it shouldn't be funny, but I laughed my ass off. A Ford joke. They had a Ford joke in here. They had 2 Ford jokes, but this one in particular, it was. You know why this was actually funny? Because it looked like it was going to be a cliche.
Yeah.
It looked like it was going to be a cliche moment of the father having a heart attack. You know how they always do that.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want to tell you exactly what they did, but they caught me off guard because I'm waiting on this cliche moment, and they set it up like it's about to happen, and they just had the
because like it feels like such a perfect place for that cliche too. It's like, okay, here we go.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. And wow, what?
And not only that, they lean into the subversion too.
Yeah.
It's not like just, oh well, that's a thing that happens. Like,
And I'm like, okay, it shouldn't belong here, but you got me. I'm gonna give you that one.
It's actually a great scene. Like, I never thought that I'd comment on a fart joke scene being a great scene, but it's a great scene, man.
They called me off guard with that. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up, man. It's a good show, man. That's the first 3 episodes so far, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing. And we're gonna review every episode from here on out. That's kind of like the rundown on what's going on. And yeah, as I say, as weekly, we'll just do our reviews and let you know what's going on with the show. But that is our review for episode 1 through 3 for Fargo. It's a good show, man. Watch it. It's on FX. You probably can catch it on Hulu right now. So
yeah, and if you're like me and you hadn't watched the show before, this is a great place to start, man. This, like, you don't need to have watched anything else. As I understand, the show has some of a anthology feel as far as season to season goes, but definitely check this one out. I guarantee you will be entertained.
All right, man. So we're going to talk about a couple of trailers. We done with our reviews, and we're going to do a trailer reaction. Well, we're going to do a couple trailer reactions. And we got a couple trailers that dropped today. Nothing that was so incredible that I had to do. But this one that looked kind of interesting, man. It's called Alchemy. I want you to see it because, like I said, I saw a little bit of it. It's like interesting. It's got Joe Manganiello in there as he's the main character in this, and it's kind of it's in a vein of R-rated superhero movies, kind of. Should I say more like a realistic, take on the superhero genre, kind of like that. Okay. So it's called Alchemy. So let's watch this trailer, and then we'll be back with some thoughts on it. So without further ado, Alchemy trailer.
I used to sit on top of the highest buildings in Chromium and look down like a god.
You still got them superpowers? The power to drink a fifth of whiskey and not pay for it.
Dad was a storyteller.
See? It's in our blood.
I used to punch holes through space-time.
Hey! Oh, you're the dude who says he's from another planet. You got superpowers, right? Come on, I just want to hear your story.
My city was named Chromium.
So that's where you're from?
They had to invent things to hurt me. Intelligent asteroids, killer robots.
Super villains?
Say super one more time.
Oh, okay.
Even the whiskey's weaker here.
Space whiskey. All right, look, do you have any superpowers at all? Or...
The source of my power doesn't exist here.
Why you gotta fill the kid's head with bullshit?
I've always been good to you, right? To you and your family.
You're risking our lives to hang out with some homeless man?
Max didn't have to do any of this to help us.
They will find you and they will kill you.
So what are we supposed to do?
You fight the war.
Fuck. Get Max Fist.
We're gonna play a game!
Where's my brother?
You look insane.
Okay. All right, that is Alchemy. What you think of that? What? Oh, that didn't say Alchemy?
No, that was Arch Enemy.
Oh, sorry.